Let's get started with our first news of the day. Belal Muhammad has gone viral after trolling a diehard Leon Edwards fan, and it's honestly hilarious. Now, forget about the belt and the talks around UFC 315 for just a second, because recently ESPN shared a cameo video that's been circulating all over social media. And in this cameo, Muhammad was paid to deliver a special birthday message, but he decided to put his own savage twist on it. Let's break this down. The cameo was meant for a fan named Robert, who apparently is a big supporter of Leon Edwards, but instead of getting a message from his favorite fighter, he ended up receiving a surprise shout out from none other than Belal Muhammad himself. And Muhammad didn't miss the opportunity to throw some classic shade in the most lighthearted yet savage way possible. Here's what Muhammad said, and trust me, you're going to want to hear this. Hey, what's up, Robert? Just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. This is the welterweight champion. I know you were wishing it was Leon Edwards, but it's not. It's me. So hope you have a splendid day, and I hope you have a splendid year. Welcome to the new era. Now that's how you troll like a champ. The way Belal emphasized welterweight champion and welcome to the new era wasn't just playful. It was a statement. It was a reminder that in his eyes, he's the rightful king of the welterweight division, and whether or not you agree with him, there's no denying that his confidence is on full display here. What makes this even more entertaining is how Belal completely leaned into the opportunity to poke fun at the fans' expectations. Most fighters might just give a standard birthday greeting and move on, but Belal? He turned it into a moment, a social media clip that has fans laughing, debating, and talking. And in today's fight game, that kind of personality can go a long way. It's worth noting how well timed this cameo release was. With all the chatter surrounding upcoming welterweight matchups, title implications, and UFC 315 hype, Belal using humor and charisma to stay in the spotlight is a strategic move. Fighters know that staying relevant between fights is almost as important as what happens inside the octagon, and Belal Muhammad is playing that game very smartly. This moment also reveals something else. Belal isn't afraid to stir the pot. He's embracing the entertainment side of MMA while still demanding respect as a serious contender. Whether it's in interviews, social media, or surprise videos like this, he knows how to make an impact, and fans, whether they support him or not, are definitely paying attention. For Robert, the birthday boy, we're sure this wasn't the message he expected, but it's probably one he'll never forget. Imagine expecting your favorite fighter and getting the guy who's been gunning for him instead, with a grin and a mic drop. Honestly, it's comedy gold. And that line, "Welcome to the new era," might be Belal's way of letting everyone know that he believes his time has come. Whether it's psychological warfare, branding, or just straight up confidence, Belal Muhammad is making waves. One birthday message at a time. Let us know in the comments. Was this lighthearted fun or a subtle message to Leon Edwards and the rest of the welterweight division? Let's now turn to another strong and emotional statement from Arman Tsarukyan, who is currently feeling frustrated and even angry with the UFC. The lightweight contender recently revealed that the UFC reached out with another fight offer, and once again they wanted him to face Mateusz Gamrot. That's right, the same opponent he's already fought before. Here's the issue. Arman Tsarukyan is the #1 ranked contender in the lightweight division right now, while Gamrot is ranked 7th. From Tsarukyan's perspective, that offer just doesn't make any sense, and to be honest, he feels disrespected by it. He explained the situation in a recent interview, saying, "They offered me a fight in Abu Dhabi in July, main event of the evening, but I refused because they offered me an opponent I didn't want to fight. He's ranked below me, and I didn't see the point in fighting him just for money. There's no point in fighting someone just to fight. I am #1. Why should I gift a fight to a number 10? He continued by reflecting on his own journey through the rankings and how much he had to earn his current position. Nobody gave me such a gift when I was in the top 10. I fought the top 9, top 8, top 7, top 5, top 4, all before I became #1. This wasn't just a polite decline. Tsarukyan made it very clear that he felt insulted by the offer. According to him, the UFC is treating him as if he's still trying to prove himself rather than acknowledging that he's already climbed the mountain and is standing at the very top of the contender list. He added, "The UFC has angered me. They offered me such an opponent. For them, this is disrespectful. I deserve better. I'm ranked #1. I'm not even saying give me a title fight, but at least give me a #1 contender fight." Tsarukyan says he would have accepted the fight if the opponent made sense. If they offered me a good opponent from the top 5, or at least someone on a winning streak I would consider, the one they offered me was on a losing streak. They could have at least given me someone like Hooker, but Gamrot is who they offered, and that's who I refused. It's clear that Tsarukyan is not willing to risk his hard-earned position just to keep busy. He wants the UFC to respect the rankings, and he wants a matchup that will either lead to a title shot or make a clear case for one. What do you think? Should the UFC give Arman Tsarukyan a higher ranked opponent? Is he being smart, or is he risking losing momentum? Let us know in the comments below. Now let's move on to our second story of the day. Speaking of the future, UFC Hall of Famer and former 2-division champion Daniel Cormier recently opened up about one of the toughest topics in all of combat sports: retirement. On a recent episode of his podcast, DC gave some honest and heartfelt thoughts about when a fighter should consider walking away from the octagon. Speaking from personal experience, Cormier dropped some real gems for both fans and fighters. He started by saying, listen to not only your body, because your body's going to tell you first. Your mind will actually tell you. You know when it's time. For DC, the decision to retire wasn't just about physical wear and tear. It was a deeper feeling, an internal signal that the love for the grind was no longer there. Cormier went on to point out that not everyone gets to ride off into the sunset like Khabib Nurmagomedov or Georges St-Pierre, both of whom retired undefeated or at the very top of the sport. Not everybody gets what Khabib got, he said. Khabib literally got a fairy tale ending. Him and Georges St-Pierre got to leave on top. Not everybody gets that. DC made it clear that for most fighters, the story doesn't end with a perfect walk-off. In fact, for many, it ends in heartbreak or worse, being forced out of the sport they once loved. Reflecting on his own final years in the UFC, Cormier was incredibly candid. He admitted that by the time he was getting ready for his last few fights, his heart wasn't in it anymore. When you don't love to train anymore, you're probably done. When you don't love the competition or look forward to it, you're probably done. He specifically pointed to his final fight, the trilogy bout against Stipe Miocic, as an example. I didn't need to fight that last fight against Stipe, he revealed. We did a training camp in my garage. The last two, I didn't need to. But there was just way too much money on the table at the time. That raw honesty gives fans a behind-the-scenes look at the harsh reality fighters face. Even when the love for the sport fades, the financial incentives are often too tempting to ignore. Fighters, especially those at the top, are offered millions to step back into the cage, even if their bodies or minds aren't fully committed anymore. Cormier didn't stop at just sharing his personal experiences. He also took a moment to advise younger fighters, especially those starting to rise in the rankings. Start to look down the line, he said. There's nothing wrong with planning for what's next. I was lucky to be able to do that. And look at my life today. And he's right. Today, Daniel Cormier is one of the most respected analysts and commentators in the sport. He works as a UFC broadcaster, coaches young athletes, and has become a voice of wisdom for the next generation of fighters. His ability to smoothly transition out of the octagon and into a stable career outside of fighting is something most athletes aspire to, but few prepare for. His message is clear. Fighting is just one chapter in life. No matter how great a fighter is, there comes a time when they need to listen to their body, their mind, and their heart. Knowing when to walk away can make all the difference between leaving with dignity or being forced out when it's too late. In a sport where longevity is rare and injury is constant, Cormier's words serve as a reminder that planning for the future is just as important as preparing for the next fight. Now let's move on to another big update, and this one is a bit unexpected. Arman Tsarukyan recently stepped back into action, but not in the UFC octagon. Instead, he competed in a grappling match, and while he came out victorious, it didn't quite go the way fans might have hoped. In fact, Tsarukyan himself wasn't happy with the performance, and he even apologized to fans for what he described as a boring fight. That's right, Tsarukyan was featured at Karate Combat 54, where he faced off against Makhachev Zainikov in a grappling contest. For those who don't know, Zainikov is a tough competitor and a teammate of Islam Makhachev, training out of Khabib Nurmagomedov's legendary gym in Dagestan. So while this wasn't an MMA bout, there was still plenty of intrigue going into it, especially considering the rivalry between Tsarukyan and some members of that team. The match ended with Tsarukyan winning by unanimous decision, which is impressive, but the action itself was far from thrilling. Both fighters showed excellent wrestling defense, and as a result, there wasn't much in the way of highlight reel moments. After the match, Tsarukyan didn't try to sugarcoat it. He was brutally honest with the crowd and the cameras. Here's what he had to say. "I knew this fight was going to be like this. Boring. When two guys know freestyle wrestling, it's difficult to take each other down. If you bring an MMA fighter versus a jiu-jitsu guy, there's going to be more ground game. Sorry it was not too good for fans, but I hope you enjoyed it. I haven't fought in 1 year, and that's why I came and wrestled today." It's rare to see a top-tier fighter openly apologize for a performance, but Tsarukyan made it clear he felt the fans deserved better. That type of honesty shows the kind of standards he holds himself to. He's not just chasing wins, he wants to entertain and prove that he's the most well-rounded fighter in the division. Despite the lack of fireworks, Tsarukyan did take a moment to praise his opponent. He said, "My opponent was a very hard guy. Nobody knows him a lot because he fights in Russia, but he's from a strong team and was tough. It's clear that Makhachev Zainikov, while relatively unknown on the global stage, earned Tsarukyan's respect. Being able to hang with a top contender like Arman and go the distance is no small feat. And coming from Khabib's camp, you know the training is elite." But then came a cheeky little shot from Tsarukyan. He said, "I need one more guy from Khabib's team." That statement raised eyebrows. Was it just a casual remark or a subtle call-out aimed at Islam Makhachev himself? Remember, Tsarukyan has long believed he has what it takes to dethrone the lightweight king, and if he wins his next UFC fight and Islam is still holding the title, that matchup might finally happen. For now though, Tsarukyan is clearly focused on staying active and sharpening his tools, even outside the octagon. Whether it's grappling or striking, he wants to stay ready, because he knows the title opportunity could be right around the corner. So what did you think of Tsarukyan's grappling match? Was it fair of him to call it boring? Do you think he'll get his shot at Islam Makhachev soon? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the lightweight division. Now on to a very interesting development that has the MMA world buzzing. Khamzat Chimaev has finally broken his silence on the rising tension between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. Until now, nobody had really asked Chimaev for his thoughts on this potential super fight. But in a recent interview with Russian outlet Usha Taika, the question came up, and Chimaev didn't hold back. He made it very clear where his loyalty lies. He's backing Islam Makhachev all the way. He said, "I expect Islam to get the job done." But this wasn't just a technical prediction about styles or strategies. This was about something deeper. This was about loyalty and brotherhood. Muslim fighters from places like Dagestan and Chechnya are known for sticking together, no matter what. That unshakable bond was at the center of Chimaev's response. Up until recently, Chimaev and Ilia Topuria had maintained a respectful relationship. In fact, the two had even trained together in the past. Their sparring sessions became a hot topic, with fans speculating who got the better of whom. And not too long ago, they were seen together in Guram Kutataladze's corner, working as teammates with zero signs of conflict. But all of that seems to be in the past now. Ilia Topuria has recently gone public with criticism toward Islam Makhachev, making bold statements that haven't sat well with the Dagestani camp. And this time, Khamzat didn't stay silent. He responded not with diplomacy, but with intensity. His tone was sharp, his words deliberate, and you could tell Topuria's trash talk is getting under his skin. Chimaev said, "One thing I really dislike about some of these modern champions. Okay, look, I love Khabib and Islam. They're Muslim. I'm Muslim. They come from mountain villages like me. Same country, same small republic. Chechnya and Dagestan, it's the same." He made it clear that this isn't just about competition. It's about identity, culture, and respect. And Chimaev isn't happy with the disrespect coming from Topuria's camp. He continued, "I have a lot of brothers from Dagestan. Islam at 155 is a killer. I doubt his chances at 170, but at lightweight he's unstoppable. No one will beat him, I'm sure, especially not some of these smaller guys who just start shit talking." And finally, Chimaev drove the point home with a message that felt like a warning. Wrestling is different, brother. Wrestling is superior to striking. We have the best wrestling in the world. We've shown it time and time again, and this time it won't be any different. So now Chimaev has drawn a clear line in the sand. This is no longer about sport. It's about family, loyalty, and tradition. And anyone who goes after his brothers, especially Islam, is going to feel the heat. So what do you think about all of this? Belal trolling a fan. Arman Tsarukyan refusing fights. Tsarukyan apologizing for a boring grappling match. And now, Chimaev defending Islam with fire in his voice. Let us know in the comments below. The world of MMA is heating up, and it's only going to get more intense from here.